What's going on, Reapers? Devontae, Reaper Training, Reaper Motivation. Y'all know what time it is, and today I wanted to get back into what I had talked about in the last video, which was police brutality. And I basically wanted to talk about, it's something that I keep hearing that has been kind of bothering me, and the reason why it bothers me is because the whole issue of police brutality right now could be ended. All the oppression and things that black people go through in America could be ended, but that's being halted at this point in time by people having this idea in their head that racism no longer exists. And it's so bad to the point that black people believe it. You see what I'm saying? But the reason being is that they're looking at it from a perspective of not knowing the history behind some of the shit. And I try my best not to be preachy, but y'all gotta understand something, man. The black community is becoming way too fucking docile. We're starting to let our ideas and ideologies be affected by these fucking crooked ass Democrats and all these other people to make us feel like, you know, all the issues that we have in America don't really exist and that there's no such thing as racism. Or if you're a black person that's on the conservative side, you're getting fed that bullshit by them too. It's coming from two different aspects, and we're letting everybody put these ideas into our head that don't live in our community, that don't go through what we go through every day, that don't experience the things that we go through every day. You know, when I look at it, right, you look at just in the school system, how often the most talked about figure to black people is Martin Luther King. Now, I don't want to disrespect Martin Luther King in no way, shape, or form. He is a true forefather of freedom of America for black people. You know, he's definitely super intelligent man, graduated high school at 15. I understand that. You know what I mean? I'm not taking nothing away from Dr. King. But there's a reason why they want Dr. King to be the focal point of who we look at when it comes to racism in America, because turn up the cheek, the Christian ideologies. But that turning up the cheek, marching and protesting thing is not the answer anymore. Dick Gregory was talking to, I believe it was Killer Mike, if you guys watched the Breakfast Club interview, and he said Dick Gregory was talking to him, and I think it was T.I., and it was like, how long y'all motherfuckers gonna keep marching for? We was marching in the 60s, and the shit still went on. They still put out the crack epidemic. They still destroyed the Black Panther Party. So what the fuck, y'all gonna keep marching for another 30 years, hoping that shit stops? You look at the fact that we know all this about Dr. King, and again, I'm not taking nothing away from Dr. King. I know somebody's gonna hear me say I'm just being disrespectful. I'm not. But I'm saying, why do we know so much about Dr. King? Why is the school system pushing that? And no one knows anything about Malcolm X or Huey P. Newton or Marcus Garvey. You wanna know why? The reason being is that when black people, if we were to get together and become militant to demand that we get an equal piece of the pie as everybody else, it's gonna be a lot harder to shut some people down like that. You look at the Black Panther Party, you go back to the 1960s, like I talked about in the last video, they were made for black people to go against police brutality in America. Shit had been going on at that point for 150 years, right? But what a lot of people don't know is J. Edgar Hoover, who was the head director of the FBI at the time, he said that the Black Panther Party was the #1 public enemy to America. Mind you, these people didn't have the bodies that the KKK had. And when I say the KKK had bodies, I'm talking about in the hundreds. Kids, women, bodies. Elderly, bodies. They had bodies. They didn't have the bodies that the mafia had. Mind you, at this point in time, this is in the 1960s, JFK just died. On camera. Now, everybody has the conspiracy theories, the magic bullet, whatever that bullshit, whatever. But if you want to talk about facts, fact of the matter is, man was killed by a mafia associate. If you don't think mafia associates had any type of like prevalence in the mafia, watch Goodfellas. Henry Hill was not a made man. Jimmy the Bird was not a made man. These are all associates. So associates were very involved in the mafia. And he killed JFK. When they asked him why, he said he just want to test the shot. That doesn't make any sense. And then that man who killed JFK was killed by an actual mafia member, a real actual made man. The JFK family had a whole bunch of ties with the mafia, going back to his grandfather. And JFK targeted the mafia. So if you put 2 and 2 together, that's gonna tell you that the mafia had at least something to do with it. So you gonna tell me that this man, J. Edgar Hoover, who was called the Black Panther Party, who again did not have the bodies that these organizations had. It was not even made with the intent of hurting anybody. Their exact intent was to stop police brutality and for black people to use the Second Amendment right. To stop racism. To stop oppression. But then he turns around and says that the mafia doesn't exist. You see what I'm saying? They want people to be docile. They want black people to be docile. They want us to sit there and take on the turn the other cheek, the Christian ideologies, to be on some type of, there's no such thing as racism, man. We just gotta, no, fuck that. Militancy, us being militant is honestly the route that we need to go. We can't keep being docile. We can't keep allowing people to do what the fuck they want to do to us. That is just, and it's been perpetuated for so long, and it's ridiculous. And the only reason why is because we keep letting outside entities affect what we're thinking about. You got black people saying that they love Democrats and they only vote for Democrats. Democrats don't give a fuck about black people. First of all, up until the last 100 or so years, Democrats were racist as fuck. Democrats were the one that was pro-slavery, pro fucking Jim Crow. For a long ass time, they just switched. If you look at it, I live in Virginia. The fucking governor is a Democrat. The motherfucker just got caught on camera in blackface. The motherfuckers want to give him an excuse talking about some people make mistakes and they live and they learn. Listen, let me tell you something, dog. We all may have some type of prejudice inside of us. That's the human way of how we were brought up, especially if you're American. Let me tell you something. When you're 19, 20, 22, you are who you are at that point. You've matured to an extent that you're almost definitely who you are. That man was in college. He wasn't fucking 15. He wasn't 12. He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing when he put on that blackface. So you telling me his buddies, those buddies around him, you don't think they were Democrats? You don't think he had friends? You don't think they had fathers? You don't think he learned that from somewhere? You don't think that his family probably talked about shit like that when they was at the dinner table? This racism shit runs deep. And we're letting people from the outside try to feed it into our minds that there's no such thing as systematic racism. There's no such thing as oppression in America. Somebody could sit there and the first thing I'll tell you is that you're not a slave anymore. You don't know any slaves, so why you keep talking about racism? You know why? Because I know that it was documented that the FBI and the CIA were using the drugs that were being pushed into black communities to fund a war in South America. I know that they admitted to the shit. Oliver North and all them, and you could say, oh, that like what's the big deal about that? Crack destroyed the black community. Destroyed the shit. You deindustrialize the communities, meaning that you take all the businesses that black people had to retire from the work to, take them out the community. Then you say if you want welfare, there can't be a man in the house. So the father gets out the crib, right? So you break up the family. And then you push crack in that motherfucker, and now everybody's hooked on drugs. You got crack babies, you got mothers dying of overdoses in front of their kids. You got babies being born addicted to cocaine, addicted to crack. You got kids who are now in these impoverished, fucked up, hectic environments. Now they gotta feed themselves, so they go on the corner start selling drugs and they getting killed. Or they killing people. In America, instead of fucking claiming what the fuck they did was wrong, you know what they do? They turn around and put the 3-strike law. Then they turn around and they say, oh, it's a war on drugs. It's not a war on poverty. Because poverty is the reason why they're selling drugs, the reason why they're using drugs. There's no war on that. There's a war on drugs that we put in our communities in the first place. You talk to a Republican, they're going to tell you that Ronald Reagan is the best president ever walked this earth. The biggest drug dealer of all time, Ronald Reagan, but he's the best president ever walked the earth. But they don't know that because they wasn't pushing crack in the white communities. But this is who's influencing our mind. But then they're gonna tell you systematic racism doesn't exist. Everything I just listed, the last part, the fucking 3-strike rule that Bill Clinton was a Democrat. You know how many black people he put in jail? How many lives he ruined? Off of something that that these people put in place in these communities? And then I'm gonna hear drugs are a choice and all that other shit. That's fine and dandy, you right. But at the same time, when they did the same thing, not even on purpose. I don't even think the whole opioid fucking epidemic was on purpose. I really feel like they was trying to just push that shit to push it, and ended up fucking up, and they get into the white community real hard. But is it the same thing for them? Is it still just a choice? Dave Chappelle said it best. I don't give a fuck now either. But guess what? Now they got commercials about it. Now they got all these fucking. You had the little kid in the car, and the parents was all doped out, and everybody's so sad and they crying in the comments. What was all that crying when that little boy in Chicago, Yummy, got killed? He was 12. He got shot in the back of his head. A victim of the environment. You hear black people siding with liberals about gun control. Did those liberals give a fuck about gun control when they had AK-47s in the hands of 14-year-olds in California? Did anybody think about why these motherfuckers had AK-47s in middle California? Did anybody think about the fact that CIA said that they was putting guns in the community, in the black community, so they could kill each other? You got black people talking about how foul, you know, the right is for the abortion things. Did anybody ever think about the fact that Planned Parenthood admitted to the fact that they was in the black community to try to kill us off? Look the shit up. They admitted to the motherfucker. They admitted to it. But we gonna side with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood's the best. You know why? Because we getting poisoned by these fucking Democrats that make us think that they love us. The motherfuckers is racist just like everybody else, bro. Only difference is the way I see it, bro. It's almost like racism in the North versus racism in the South. In the South, they upfront about the shit. They gonna be out. They gonna have their Confederate flags out. They gonna be waving it, weapon with the fucking dip and all that other shit. They gonna be straight on the front lines with it. In the North, they gonna have their little suits on. You know, they might, you might see a white lady grab her purse when you get in the elevator with them or something like that. Or they might give you a look in Starbucks, but ain't nobody gonna say shit. But when you apply for that job that you more qualified for than the other guy who just got out of fucking college, you got experience, and he gets the job instead of you do, or y'all both get the job and he gets promoted before you do, when he doesn't know half the shit you know. So it's just different facets. But I'm touching on this to say this, man. I'm gonna be talking about a lot more of this. I feel like I just had to touch on these subjects, man, because we're falling into a trap that I feel like is gonna really hold us back in the future, though. I feel like if we just keep continuing doing what we're doing, if we continue being docile, continue just allowing our psyches to be infiltrated by this bullshit and to believe these agendas that they're pushing, we're gonna really fall behind and we're never gonna be able to get back. You know, we really need to educate ourselves, educate our children with this bullshit that's going on. And that was just a small piece of systematic racism. I'll go in deeper. I am gonna go in deeper. But, you know, it's just an idea. We need to really get back, man. So, Devontae, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. More content coming to y'all. Sorry it took me so long to put this up, man. I've been real busy, but I know how that go. Peace.